of the current scenario and trends that reflect the outlook on rural development in the Americas. So based on the solid technical work carried out by the experts, we summarize the challenges faced by the different countries in our region and propose recommendations for sustainable development in agriculture and rural areas in Latin America and the Caribbean. So unlike others, we have enhanced and a new and improved version, we can say. So here you can see the document. We speak about rurality, and it supersedes what is sectorial, looking at solutions that will allow reassessing rural areas and agriculture, and use it as an engine for economic, social, and environmental growth. So it's a challenge that all of us are involved in, and those of us who are committed to these topics. It also provides high quality technical information to understand the near future and will help us make decisions. Perhaps some of the most noteworthy challenges were addressed yesterday. These and other important topics are presented in the document and will be formally presented by Dr. Julio Verdeguer, the regional representative of FAO for Latin America and the Caribbean. Thank you. Thank you. You practically said my entire presentation. Oh, well, but thank you so much for allowing me to make this presentation, and ICA for inviting us to present this document, or this publication. So this is the 8th edition of this publication, and it's a joint effort among ICA, ECLAC, and FAO, along with our sister organization, the Inter-American System, ICA. So this is the 8th issue, or edition, or version. It seems to us that it is convenient for all of the director generals of these organizations to review. We felt that we needed to review and revamp this publication to bring it up to date and to make it a little bit more pertinent to individuals that use this publication on a yearly basis. This publication will be issued electronically. Now it has a different cover in a different format from prior issues. Now, hereinafter, we propose that it be divided into 2 large sections. One that will include a follow-up to the advancements that have made in agriculture and rural development based on the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030. And we will also select, and we also select priority topics for each region in each of these, in each issue. So the second part of the report includes bioeconomy. That's the topic that was selected. Mr. Chair, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to mention that preparing this report included 20 technical experts from our 3 institutions. We worked arduously in preparing this report. The representative of the United States mentioned that it's not all about the plan, but planning. So here, I want to say that this is not all about the report, but how we work together to elaborate this report. So more than 20 experts from the 3 organizations, also some partner institutions, IFPRI, also helped us. I'm not going to cover each topic that's mentioned in the report, because we spoke about them in depth yesterday. We referred to opportunities, institutional challenges, financial constraints, and challenges, faced by agriculture and rural areas, and the need for institutional arrangements to meet the 2030 agenda. I know that we are all that we're short on time, so I would rather not open up the floor for discussion. So this is just a mere presentation of the report. Just mention that it's new and improved, and we've worked arduously on working together and drawing up information that we hope will be helpful for all of you and help you make timely decisions in your daily lives. The second part of the report on bioeconomy will be presented in this video. It's a short one. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Cada vez existe más consenso que el modelo actual es insuficiente para lograr los objetivos de crecimiento económico, sostenibilidad ambiental e inclusión social que buscan los países. Que debemos encontrar nuevas relaciones de producción, comercio y consumo que nos permitan no solo ser más eficientes, sino también proteger la naturaleza y solventar flagelos históricos como la pobreza, la desigualdad, la inseguridad alimentaria, entre otros. Un nuevo concepto, la bioeconomía, permite utilizar las nuevas fronteras de la ciencia y la tecnología para aprovechar más eficiente y sosteniblemente los recursos y principios biológicos. Esto ofrece una oportunidad a los países para generar productos, procesos y servicios en todos los sectores económicos y a la vez acercarse al objetivo de una economía sostenible e inclusiva. La bioeconomía es entendida como la producción, utilización y conservación de recursos biológicos, incluyendo los conocimientos, la ciencia, la tecnología y la innovación relacionados con ellos, para proporcionar información, productos, procesos y servicios en todos los sectores económicos con el propósito de avanzar hacia una economía sostenible. De esta definición se destacan 3 elementos fundamentales: la producción, utilización y conservación de los recursos y principios biológicos, la nueva frontera de ciencia, tecnología e innovación y la sostenibilidad ambiental.
La bioeconomía permite un aprovechamiento más eficiente y más sostenible, no solo de los recursos, sino también de los principios biológicos. Los avances en la ciencia, la tecnología y el conocimiento permiten plantear nuevas alternativas económicas, sobre todo en los ámbitos rurales, como por ejemplo la intensificación sostenible de la agricultura, la producción de bioenergías o el uso de aplicaciones biotecnológicas para el desarrollo de variedades más resistentes, más productivas, o la generación, por ejemplo, de bioproductos para otras industrias como la industria farmacéutica, la industria médica o la construcción.
Para América Latina y el Caribe, la bioeconomía es una necesidad, ya que estamos obligados a incrementar sustancialmente la producción de alimentos, fibras y energías, a la vez que avanzamos en los objetivos de sostenibilidad y descarbonización. Afirmamos que es una oportunidad porque en nuestra región tenemos todas las condiciones biológicas y científicas para hacerle frente a ese desafío, promoviendo un desarrollo integral de la agricultura y de los territorios rurales que apoya a resolver muchos de los problemas de pobreza, seguridad alimentaria y desequilibrio económico, social y ambiental que se enfrentan en el interior de la región. La bioeconomía brinda alternativas para un desarrollo territorial más equilibrado e inclusivo, indispensable para un combate efectivo de los problemas persistentes de pobreza rural. Dado que la biomasa es un recurso voluminoso y de muy bajo.
Gracias, don Julio.
Thank you so much, Julio. Thank you. So we're now going to continue with our agenda. And we're now coming into the formalization of agreements. We're going to ask the coordinator of the legal and international affairs and protocol of ICA to take part in the formalization of the following agreements: General Technical Cooperation Agreement between Codeska Foundation and ICA, and the General Cooperation Agreement between Stanford University and ICA, and the launch of, and well, we're going very pretty, well, we're going moving fast. We have the Internet of Things, and of course, therefore, the launch of the IoT platform for agriculture. So we'd like to invite the representative of CODESPA. Is the representative here, as well as representative of Senfotech University.
Para que nos acompañen aquí y podamos.
Could you please join us here at the head table so that we can proceed with the formalization of these agreements?
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon, honorable ladies and gentlemen. ICA is honored and we're now starting this ceremony for the formalization of two legal instruments that are very important on the regional and international levels. We have Mrs. Michelle Riestra, Executive Director of CODESPA, and now we will be having the signing of the General Technical Cooperation Agreement between CODESPA Foundation and ICA. We have signing Director Manuel Otero, Director General of ICA, and Mrs. Michelle Riestra, Executive Director of CODESPA. This agreement aims to establish the terms under which both organizations will coordinate their actions and will cooperate to contribute to the development of agriculture and rural development. Now, we will now give the floor to Mrs. Michelle Riestra, the Executive Director of CODESPA. Honorable Ministers, Heads of Delegation, Director General, Dr. Manuel Otero, delegates, special guests. I'd like to thank you for the trust that you have shown to me through the signing of this agreement and the work that we can do together with ICA for the benefit of so many people. I'd like to particularly thank Mary Stuhl and the ICA office in the United States that have made it possible for us to come to this point. CODESPA works by giving opportunities to persons who live in poverty so that through their work, by dint of their work, they can improve their living standards. We promote market solutions, which as far as possible are made on a large scale to ensure they're on a large scale and are sustainable so that these people can be autonomous without necessarily recurring to new aid. We work on development of rural markets, insertion in the working market, and on entrepreneurship, microfinance, and rural tourism. This is a sector that is developing. We're working with the UNWTO, and the synergy between sustainable tourism and agriculture presents a great possibility for the development of our countries. CODESPA has been working for the last 15 years to promote projects around rural community development in the Americas. It is activity that has allowed us to develop methodologies and to regenerate inclusive economy and incorporate communities that are vulnerable. How do we do this? On the one hand, we create a demand. We boost the touristic competitiveness of the communities, ensuring that they have standards of quality that comply with the expectations of the tourists. Also, we encourage a demand in the market demand, which this is generated by the local communities themselves. We put them into contact with tour operators and tourist businesses. In this way, we set up an economic network that will allow them to be in a sustainable and effective way. Our presence and the results show that it is possible to include people who are living in poverty into tourist markets. We have held more than 3,000 people, and 55% of which are women. Women are like Florence from Los Rachas. She lives in Chucumbamba in Peru, and after 10 years, 10 years for after this micro business, she has its involvement with the tourist routes, which is in charge of great female empowerment. There are 151 tourist micro businesses that we have promoted and empowered the vulnerable um, communities, helping them to apply standards of quality and that are recognized by the market. We recognize the challenges that are mentioned by the Caribbean, and together with ECO, we are working to turn these challenges into allies. Together, we are setting up a joint project for tourist cacao path in the Dominican Republic, and we're sure that this is just the beginning of many great projects in this wonderful region, the Caribbean. We are very excited this new, and through this strategic alliances, we think that all of these strategies between CODESPA and ERO and ECA will be successful and reach the large number of people so that we can set up regional quality standards and ensure better future for our countries. Thank you.
A continuación, las palabras.
Now we will hear from Dr. Manuel Otero, Director General of ECA. Thank you very much, Michelle. It is quite obvious that we do share an objective that is to improve the living standards of the most vulnerable groups. And as you have stated, we try to seek means for marketing new types of agritourism, and we see that we have a shared agenda. And here I'd like to reiterate that it's our decision to walk together and to work here through and this partnership, which I'm sure will be very productive. Thank you. Now, this Rachel Restrad, Executive Director of CODESPA, is now withdrawing. Now we invite to the head table Mr. René Pierre Bundu, Director of the Senfotec University. Now we are very pleased to have the formalization of the cooperation agreement between the Senfotec University and ECA. Dr. Manuel Otero, from the Director General of ITA, and Mr. René Pondu, Director of the Senfotec University, are signing the agreement at this time. This agreement aims to generate initiatives and transformation for the digitalization of agriculture in the member states of ECA. And with these initiatives, we seek to to bridge the digital divide of facing women and young people in the member countries. We want to democratize technologies in ICT technologies in our region. Now we can hear from Dr. René Pierre Bondou from the Senfotec University. Mr. Manuel Otero, Director General of ECA, Honorable Ministers, Heads of Delegation of the member countries of ECA, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The signing of this agreement is a source of great honor for the Senfotec University. We would like to thank the authorities of ECA for having opened their door to us and allowed us to contribute from academia to achieving some of its most important institutional objectives, and that is a digital transformation of the agricultural sector. The Senfotec University is the only university in this region which specializes in digital technologies, has ever since its inception, dedicated itself to the teaching, research, and support of initiatives in seeing how digital technologies can effectively improve processes and competitiveness of organizations in the diverse sectors of economic and social activity. So through specific projects, the Senfotec University has had the great opportunity and privilege of collaborating on the project of the digital transformation of the government of Costa Rica, led by the Minister of Science and Technology and Telecommunications. In the agricultural sector, which is one of the sectors that today can gain particular considerable benefit from digital technologies, the university, together with Unicafe, recently had a hackathon on the use of blockchain technology as a solution for traceability in the coffee sector of Costa Rica. Will have solution will be a reading solution will also be implemented. Recently, together with ICA, we embarked upon a process of collaboration, and the objective was one to have a hackathon on the problems surrounding the technology and innovation for the agriculture of tomorrow. Another objective was the creation of training, technical training on Internet of Things for the agricultural sector in the Americas. So why do we want IoT training for the agricultural sector? In IoT, or Internet of Things, refers to groups of digital devices such as industrial sensors that transmit data through the internet. Therefore, through the Internet of Things, together with the exploitation of data produced, gives us immense possibilities for increasing the efficiency, productivity, and creation of value, of added value, and the attractiveness of agricultural processes. For example, by improving the administration of energy, by developing precision agriculture, by implementing systems of traceability, developing intelligent livestock raising, this meaning the difficulty of labor. These possibilities of IoT are generally faced with two major challenges. And the first is to give to rural areas and remote areas telecommunication systems that are necessary to connect the devices. For necessary for an IoT solution. Also, another challenge is to have necessary trained personnel to develop and exploit and use this type of solutions for agricultural sectors, whether they be small or large. The creation of this program between Senfotech and ICA seeks to dispel the tension, the traditional tension between IoT and agricultural sector in the Americas. We also tried to reach young people and women in the rural areas to ensure that with the help of technology, they can contribute and they can be more efficient and sustainable and ensure that their small holdings are more attractive and that the work in the rural areas can be seen in a more positive light, together with the government policies such as that of the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock of Costa Rica, which seeks, as I quote, to increase greater and more decent living standards for rural for smallholders and medium-sized farmers in the rural areas to have um, practices, entrepreneurial practices, promoting competitiveness, equity, and social and economic sustainability, as well as an environmental sustainability in the agricultural sector. Specifically, the program, which is developed together with ICA, will be a 20-month part-time project, might be virtually, or in other words, online, that imparts theoretical and practical information, and it is based on implementation of projects and simulating real situation. The program involves the micro sensors, prototypes of mobile applications and others in order to have effective IoT solutions. Graduates from this program will be in the possibility of build IoT solutions at the low or medium investment through the development bank, with the help of the Development Bank, and they can also have more sophisticated solutions for bigger agricultural holdings. We hope that the participants should be motivated to see how things work, to be able to solve problems with ingenuity, and to be proactive in the solution of problems. The program for training will be a face-to-face program and start in 2020 in coordination with ICA as well as other institutions. During the course of 2020, the virtual aspect of the program will go into operation for its subsequent internationalization in cooperation with the ICA and member countries. In conclusion, we would like to reiterate our thanks to ICA for supporting the active involvement of the Centfotech in the university into the ecosystem of the digital transformation of the agricultural sector and the possibility of offering improvement for young people and women in the rural areas and giving them the possibility to have a technical training so that they may become key workers and actors in a modernization of a sector, and thus contribute to the bright future of that sector. Thank you.
A continuación, las palabras del doctor.
Now we will hear from Director General Manuel Otero. Thank you very much, Mr. Honorable Rector. Sometimes when we sign these agreements, you wonder how we are going to implement this. When you visited me in my office and we talked about the question of the IoT, I was very happy. Now I'm very satisfied to see that this is becoming a reality. I hope that this, in the future, we'll have such other courses such as this, and I'm glad that we're pioneers. I know that you will be helping us with the hackathon. And here we have a very clear example that legal instruments can give life to our enterprises and lend better living standards for people. So I really celebrate this agreement and this long-term partnership. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias y bueno.
Thank you very much and good afternoon.
Bien, muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. So at this point, we would like to encourage the Director General to continue identifying mechanisms that will strengthen ICA and increase the support that this institute can give to member countries. It has been suggested that we take a break, but the items that we have are not really very complicated. So my suggestion is that we would continue, finish, and then we can have a break for the whole night. So if the distinguished delegates are in agreement,